I'm okay being in a relationship and we're striving, and life throws inevitable shit at you. It just is what it is. And if he's down, then I'm okay to carry you.
Yeah.
But I'm okay to carry you through a period, but not period. Like just carrying you whilst you're.
Yeah.
I want to be looked after as a woman. You know, it doesn't. We've got to make up our minds what's emasculating. So if it's emasculating for me to have an opinion about certain things or whatever the case may be, then it should be emasculating for you to take my money.
Okay. Black and white.
This is our first live. I know some of you had really suggested that you'd like for us to do this. So we thought we'll give it a try. And like I was saying earlier, we thought that it would be simple, but apparently not.
Hey, Nubia.
Hello, Nubia. Next time we're going to have to get you on the panel, love. We're going to have to get you on the panel. I'm just trying to share this to my phone. Like, share.
Today so far.
No one's got to say how their day's been.
It's like that. It's been like that today.
I don't know how we're going to get Michelle back on.
So you're going to have to join through the messenger thing again, I think.
Okay, so call her. Would ya? Yeah, we're going to hold you to that, Nubia, because you're literally admin family at this point. Hey, Nikki, well gone.
Nick.
How was your Christmas, gorgeous girl? Hi, Dorian. Had a lazy day. Lady V had a lazy day. I went back to work today, but I'm working from home, so it's yeah, it's all good. How do you do a watch party on these things? I thought I was quite well versed, but it's like they're making things so difficult.
I'm already not well versed.
Hey, Aggie.
Hey, Ag.
What's going on, love? So we're going to really need you to participate in the comments, guys, because we've been having difficulties trying to figure out little bits and pieces, and like I say, it would be good to get you guys when we do figure it out, all of the screens, and have you all join us. Bored in your house. That's yeah. It failed. Okay, so it's this link. You've got to copy this link. We're trying to get Michelle to join the live with us, so that we can just get this party started. Here's the link, but where do I send it to? Share the screen. See all participants. Well, anyway, whilst we figure it out, what was the topic that you put on today?
So I put a topic on today, and I said many of us have been out of the dating game for a while. Been out the game for a while. So what would be your dating tips? So if you're going on a date, what tips and what advice do you have? I asked that.
I'm just going to get some drinks and come back.
Not because I'm trying to date right now, because I really ain't. But I realised that if it did get to a time where I needed to go on a date, I don't even know what date etiquette is. Yeah. It's not coming up. Oh. I wouldn't even know what date etiquette is. I wouldn't even know what the do's and don'ts are of going on a date. So I asked the question in No Bravado today. what are the do's and don'ts, or give me some tips if you are going on a date. And as usual, you guys never fail us. So let me get some of the comments up. Okay, let's have a look. Sharon Milling said, always take your own vehicle when meeting for the first time, or take transportation. Never meet someone and rely on them to take you there. Make sure the meeting place is somewhere where it is easy for you to leave if you need to. For me, that's standard. I'm a person, whether it's a date or not, if I'm going out, I like to drive. I think it's because I like to be in control of what I'm doing. So no matter what happens, when I'm ready to leave, I can leave. When I'm ready to go, if I want to stay, I can stay. So that kind of thing is standard for me in any kind of situation. Kofi Guyan said, ask all your serious questions on the phone before the date. The official first date should be enjoyable. Forget about the probing questions. True. Ian Bowman always comes up with some gems, said just enjoy the date as much as you can. Don't put any expectations on the date. Good eye contact, no phones. That's where I would probably go wrong. Pay half the bill. Just take it nice and easy. Men like a chilled vibe on a first date. If you like him, you will have plenty time to ask the serious questions on other dates. I like that. Pay half the bill. I would never go on any date, even though it's seen as chivalrous for a man to pay for the date. I would never go on a date just expecting him to pay. So I'd always carry my money and be expecting to pay half the bill anyway. If he then decides he wants to pay for the full bill, fair enough. Go for coffee. Mish, we miss you.
Where is she?
She's there. She said,
about go off for coffee. Why are you not on the screen?
I'm in trouble.
Coffee dates are actually quite good though, aren't they? It's less pressure.
I've never had a coffee date.
I've been hearing a lot about it, like just go out for a quick coffee. It's less pressure, isn't it?
The whole dating concept, like where you meet someone, they like you, or you're talking to someone, they like you, and they ask you out on a date.
Yeah.
I've realised I haven't done that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't believe that. No one's ever asked you out on a date. What do you mean?
Not anyone that I've gone with. So there's no one that has asked me out on a date that I've wanted to go out on a date with. Does that make sense?
Michelle, try again and we'll see if we can accept it. Try again. Yeah, go on, sorry.
So anyone that I've ended up with or dated, it's not been in that traditional format. It's been, we've been good friends. And it kind of goes into that. It's not been like, hi, my name is this. Let's go out on a date. Let's talk about what you like. Let's talk about, I already know. And he already knows because, you know, we had that relationship before. It's never done the traditional dating thing.
Okay.
I don't know.
I have. I've been on some terrible dates, with that lie.
Have you?
Terrible dates, man. Like some people have said, you have your friend ring. Do you want some?
Thank you. No.
You don't want them?
Oh, I don't want no bougie Ribena. Maybe they said our dinner dates out. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of the guys are saying now that, from what we've read in the comments, they're not mad at you if you pay half of the bill. Whereas I think if you ask me out, you should pay for the bill. I have my money, yeah. But if you ask me to go out on a date, I do think, you know, it's nice to be dined. I don't think dinner dates are out, but with this COVID shit, it's getting a little bit. Yeah. It's getting a little bit more difficult.
Definitely harder.
What do you guys think about online dating? Would you online date? You wouldn't. No. Why?
I don't have no. It just. I get to know some. I kind of fall in love with people, or not fall in love because you're not necessarily going on a date and you're going to fall in love. But I kind of get that connection with people organically, and it always kind of happens for me in a not set up type of way. When you're online dating, if specifically you're looking for someone or you're letting someone find you for dating.
Yeah.
And when it's structured like that, it's like my brain is like, it can't accept it. It just doesn't feel organic enough for me.
Right.
I accidentally trip and fall for people. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we end up having a connection. You're lucky you're female. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but no, online dating is not, because I'm a very I think it's because of the type of person that I am as well. I'm very reserved. So online dating, and then it would just take even longer than it usually would for me to open up to anyone or let them in like that. Yeah.
He's saying, I know people that have got married and had children from online dating. Yeah, it certainly works for some. I've online dated before, didn't end the way that I would have liked, but it wasn't the worst experience either. But I've only ever done it once, I think. Yeah.
Saying that, Dana said my partner now came into my inbox. The rest is history. My last partner of 10 years.
Yeah.
He initially contacted me for work online. Does that class as online dating?
So he contacted you for work online. On Facebook?
Yes.
So that you can come and do some work with him?
So we did many projects together. Then we became good friends for a year. Then we ended up doing something.
That's not online dating.
That's not online dating, is it?
No, I don't think so.
But I did meet you online. But then he lived in my area, same borough. We just never knew of each other, but we knew all of the same people. So I think that kind of connection kind of happened. Patrick Dorban said online dating is a no-no. Asia said try the online dating thing, mate. It's good and bad sometimes. I can imagine.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, Patrick, I think that's why he's asking. What she's asking is why is online dating a no, Patrick? The show again, try to get on. Did you get it?
No.
Michelle, man, you should have just taken the laptop downstairs. You know, we can't. We'll have to switch off and then switch back on. I don't know how to. I actually don't know how to do it to add you back on now. We finally got it done, and it was a palaver to get you to, because, like I said, live never used to be so. You didn't have to have an IT degree to flip into it. Yeah, before not here for Taliban to come down and get you and me
on the live
and beat us up on the live. So, to be fair, I don't understand what the reservations are in relation to online dating, because the same way you'd meet somebody just out there is the same way you've got to get to know them. So if you meet someone online, you still got to get to know them.
You still got to get to know them anyway.
Yeah.
In this area, I struggle anyway. So anything set up. So even if you said, hi now, I've got someone for you, I want to set you up on a date, I probably would say no.
No, yeah.
Because I don't like that that setup. If I meet someone, we talk and we like each other, and then they say, do you want to go out? That's different. But it's like, look, you go out, I've got someone I think will be, nah. So like with online dating, it's specifically for that. That's what it's for you to meet someone to date.
Yeah.
And I struggle with that, if that makes sense.
Do you struggle with dating?
Yeah.
Why? Is it because you've had long-term partners for so long?
I've only had long-term partners. So, and when I say partners, I don't mean partners, because that sounds like I've had there. But I only know like 2 long-term relationships my whole life. So obviously in between that, there's been people that I've spoken to that have been interested, but then it's me. I can never get to the meeting stage. I kind of black it out.
Yeah.
I'm like not ready. Or if a guy from the offset immediately tells me that he likes me, I'm like, oh, That's disgusting. Like, I don't know why, but because I'm so used to having people chat, like it flow and ease into it, you can't just come and tell me you like me. I don't like it.
Not here for
ease me into it because I'm awkward. I'm
Right.
awkward. And I think that's where a lot of it comes. I'm very, very awkward.
Yeah.
So you can't just stand in my face or message me and say, I like you. I'll turn off my phone. Even if I like you back. I'm being very serious. Because I'm awkward like that.
I hear you.
You know what I mean?
I hear you. But one of the things that you just said is that
I struggle with dating because I hadn't done it, and I'm not confident like that with the opposite sex.
Yeah.
And yet, is it awkward or control? It's a bit of both. I like to be in control of me, and I sometimes feel like when you date someone and you get in that mix, you can possibly lose control. But now, different things that I've been through, the stage that I'm at now, I don't think I would. I feel like I've got a firm handle on myself. But I would still find it awkward. I'm an extrovert introvert, so I'm quite introverted anyway. So sitting there getting to know someone is an absolute fucking nightmare.
So yeah, it's about having, Patrick said, too much about people out there doing this online dating for the wrong thing. Most of them, it's only for sex. And then that goes back to another comment that Nubia was saying, that she heard some horror stories from friends that are on Tinder. I think there's different dating apps that are known for different things.
What's Grindr?
It's a dating app for gay guys. For
that.
The name suggests that, Grindr. You know what I mean? That's what that's what it suggests. Michelle, try one more time. I'm gonna try and see if I can what's that? What's an ambivert?
Ambivert, does that mean a bit of both? Alison, Nubia. What's Tinder again?
Tinder is a dating app, but that's the one that's associated with people just want to have sex.
Okay. That's another thing.
Yeah.
My thing about dating is I'd be thinking, don't be thinking, because it takes me a long time. So, you've got all these kind of things. I think, not dating a lot has just put me off. And then obviously, if you've been through different things in different relationships, you just think, no, throw that in the bin.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. So right now, I'm definitely not ready to date. But I do think sometimes, will you ever be ready to date?
I think you will, but I think it's important to know when you are ready to date.
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes being alone it says it in the word, it can be lonely. But I think if you spend time getting to know yourself and what it is that you do want, I mean, a lot of us can say that we want different things from a guy. So we want a guy that's honest, loyal, hardworking, blah blah blah. But at the same time, you have to ensure that you are that.
Yes.
That what you're requesting is what you are as well. Absolutely. So if you're not ready to date, then you're not going to attract the gentleman that you want in your head, because vibes wise, you're not ready to date. So I think I don't think there's anything wrong with getting in touch with yourself, understanding who you are as a person, what things you like from what things you don't like, and being emotionally ready to date, so that you just don't take people down the garden path.
What's your dating advice?
My dating advice was me?
Yeah. Yeah.
My dating advice, I would say, be true to yourself. Don't make decisions on life partners or serious partners based on insecurities. So if you're lonely, you're horny, just because you're getting pressure from family that you should be married with kids at this time, that kind of stuff. I don't get into all of that. I ain't got time. So it's my life. I'm not going to be in a relationship with someone that I'm unhappy with just for the public outward appearance that I'm in a relationship.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. And
you get to know your damn self. Really, basically, is the thing.
Yeah, 100%. and Nubia said that she had a friend who paid on an app and found a long-term guy. And Michelle said a work colleague got married, bought a house, and had a baby from paying for a dating app. So does that mean like sponsored ads on Facebook? The more you pay, the more likely you are to get
there's
someone.
some services that not sponsored ads, but there's some ads that some apps that are free, and then you've got some apps that you have to pay for the service. And I think the idea behind that is if you're going to pay for a service, you're seriously looking for love, isn't you? Whereas if it's a free app, then it's sexy looking, isn't it? You ain't got to pay them.
But I'm good at selling and promoting brands, businesses, events, products,
right?
And I feel, but I'm not good at selling myself, as you know.
Yeah.
And I feel like you have to sell yourself, not sell yourself like King's Cross, Pretty Woman, but so you know what I mean. Though
God, I'm
you have to you're putting yourself on a dating app. So you're not gonna put she farts about 4 times. I fart about 4 times a night and I snore. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do it. So you are selling yourself. You're gonna put it's your best side, isn't it? And this is why you should date me, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I can't do that. So that alone I would struggle to do online dating.
Hence the reason it's worked out better for you to just make friends and all, let it organically
And hope
grow,
for the
as
best.
opposed to.
So every male person I make friends with, I'm like.
I've just noticed a comment. Nubia said, "I've never been dined." Really? What? Why is that? Has that been your choice, or are you closed to dating? I don't. Beautiful woman like you, I don't believe that. Let's say hello to some people. So, who's on here? Nubia, Vincent. We said hey to Nikki. We said hey to
Dana.
Hey, Jeffrey. Hey, Jeff. Okay.
What's that, Nick? Isn't that the same as dressing up for a physical date? What's that? I forgot what I said. I waffled.
Selling yourself, maybe? I don't know. What do you mean, Nikki? Elaborate.
You mean it's in someone sliding into your inbox? Hey, Kerry.
Someone said that someone said on these comments that someone slid into their messages and it's been cool from there.
Dana.
Right. So
hey, Donna.
Hey, Donna.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like, because I get hundreds of, without sounding boastful, but I get hundreds of messages and DMs, and I just don't take them seriously. I don't answer back. I'm just like, no, don't wave at me in my inbox when you've got a whole wife somewhere. Wave at me on my timeline so that everyone can see you. But why are you sliding into my DMs? But it looks like we're missing a trick there. Maybe you can talk to someone. 3 years, really, Dana? Look at that.
Really good.
So it's about perspectives and opening your mind. I think however you meet someone, be it physically or be it online, you've still got to get to know them. You've still got to go. You're, like you said, they're going to show their best side. And you've got to get to know them over a period of time. So either way,
and I think if you're dating, you've got to be in a space and you've got to be ready to do all that. Like, I can't think of anything worse right now than getting to know someone. What's your favourite colour? What do you like? What films do you like? Are you spiritual or religious? I don't care right now. Like, that's not what I want to do. So if I went on a date, if I dated now, it would be
redundant.
It would be redundant. So I think you definitely have to be ready to do all that. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Because when you do think about dating, or even when you split up with someone, you think, oh, I've got to, it's
got to start all over again. Yeah.
I've got to be comfortable to take my socks off in front of someone. Okay.
So can I ask you a really grimy personal question?
Oh my God.
All right, you lived with your long-term ex-partner, but do you like go poo in front of him, or like if he's in the vicinity? So like, would you, if he's in the bedroom,
house?
Yeah, if say he's in the bedroom, would you go poo next door?
Yes. Cut for shit if I didn't.
I know people who have said that they would not poo if their guy's in the house. I try
not
to.
be constipation chronicles in my house. I promise you that. I'll go. I'll take it where I can. Would you?
Yeah. I mean, I don't. My last partner, I'd avoid it wherever I could, but if you've got to go, you've got to go. Yeah.
And then after about a couple of years, I was like, brother.
Yeah, this is messing up my inside.
When he was there for the first labour, like, you can take
it. yeah.
As well, like,
yeah.
Feel good. Dana says that it's how he came into my inbox. It was friendly, casual. We spoke for like a year prior as friends. See, that
you can rock with.
I can rock with.
Right.
Because it's not intentional. And I think another issue that we have is that sometimes when a guy's chatting to you, you immediately have it in your head that he's running game. And sometimes the more direct he is, the more you think, oh.
Right.
But it's like, but then you want them to be direct. So that's where we kind of.
Oh, Hazel. I go poo in front of the hubby. Like, whilst he's in the bathroom, Hayes. Fart, poo, whatever it be.
It is what it is.
I suppose after real life, you're a human being.
After you part, if it's or whatever, it's fart, shit. But like, you've got to live as a functioning human. Do you know what I'm saying? Vessel.
Sod that banner incense. Straight Asia. That's right. But it takes me a while to warm up to that. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm comfortable in the beginning.
Every single phase takes a while, especially for me.
So what kind of things? How do you want to be worshipped? How do you want your next relationship in an ideal world? How do you want it to be?
You know, I'm not there yet to answer it. I just know how I don't want it to be.
All right. So what do you not want?
This is going to sound so contradictory, but this is the woman in me. As much as I've said, I don't like to be direct. But if we're in a relationship, come correct, be direct, say what's on your mind, say what you want to do. I want someone that encourages you as much as you encourage them. No bad vibes or negativity. No one that doesn't like to see you
ascend. Yeah.
Ascend. And you want to be with someone that makes you feel like they're proud to have you, if that makes sense. And not like, you don't want to always feel like the chaser.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the chaser comes with a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I'll just wrap it up in the chaser.
Yeah.
You don't want to feel like the chaser in it. And when I'm chasing, it's not necessarily with your shoes on running. It's loads of things. Like dragging information out of people and dragging for some emotional kind of, I'm not doing all that. I'm not. I also don't want anyone that's got baggage, like proper stupid baggage. Like, we had a post and it said, if a guy just came out of prison and he's homeless, would you date him?
No,
the fuck?
No.
And it's not because we're shallow.
No, I'll point you to some services though.
I've been through shit in life. I'm not dating a homeless. I'm not going to purposely go and start dating someone that's like, I'm not. I've done all the looking after in my life. I've done all the things. I would like to be looked after a little bit. And I don't mean money-wise. I just don't want to have to baby nobody.
Oh, talking to different women.
Transparency, yes.
Yeah.
Michelle said you can fart while you sleep.
Well, I don't know about that. If I'm farting while I'm sleeping, but I just think, like, to sit there and just let off a big fart casually.
Just lift up your left leg. No, I wouldn't do that.
You wouldn't do that?
No.
Is it just if it's an accident?
It can be an accident. Sometimes you can sneeze and then next minute.
Am I here now?
Yeah, you're in it now.
Look very sassy.
Really?
Very nice.
I'm not going to go downstairs. I'm downstairs already, so I'm not going to move now.
But ain't the things portable? I don't understand why you had to cut us off. You could have just taken them with you.
I don't know. I didn't think it was going to be long to get back in. So I just thought I'd log off and come back in. But clearly that didn't work.
We was just in the middle of our good chat.
It was a good flow as well.
It was a nice flow. chock full of shit.
We had about 90 something comments, and we had about 15 people watching. So it was a good flow.
Sorry, guys. Until we build a platform of our own, these are the things that we have to put up with. And then they had the cheek to ask you if you wanted to rate the call. No, you just cut us off. No, I don't want to rate the call. But so what was we talking about, Mish?
Natalie dating. Then we discussed it.
Hey, Paulette.
We would take a number 2 in front of people. Well, not people, our partners.
I missed a question from Nikki Omar. She said, "What is your love language, Natalie?"
Oh, good question.
That is a good question.
I know what mine is. Because I took a test the other day. And mine is something to do with do what you say you're going to do, basically. So it's actions.
Yeah.
So my love language is a bit of everything, really, but the main thing is do what you say you're going to do.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
What things are important to you? Communication.
Now what's important to me is being transparent and being upfront about how you feel. Being honest about your feelings. No ego, like the ego thing I don't like. Because as we know, people will let it eat them and chew them up. Do you know what I'm saying? To death. So someone with too much ego, then no. I don't know. I don't 100% know yet. I just know what I don't like. So until I can figure out what I fully do like and what my love language is, I'll be back.
Yeah, but it's a good time to, like I said, just figure yourself out. I do think it's really, it's easy to say what you want in a guy, but it's not so easy to be held accountable to the standards you expect. So I think it's really important to work on yourself so that you can be all you command. And I think each time, I get out of a relationship, it does put me to think about what I could have done differently and what I could have done better, if that makes sense. So I don't take no baggage, because I think everybody, I don't mind baggage as long as you are willing to work on it. Yeah. There's baggage. Yeah. We're not doing no excess baggage. But we'll do some. Everyone's got baggage.
But I don't want baggage that's going to sink my ship.
No.
Yeah.
So we started No Bravado. What did we do? We started No Bravado in July. I know Bravado brothers are not here with us at the moment, but you'll see them on pre-records as and when we do them. COVID has definitely forced us to look at doing things differently. Hence the reason we're fumbling around with this live, because we don't usually do them. What we usually would do is go to the studio and record. But we wanted to do these lives because I swear to God, this group, you give me so much life. I'm meant to be working and I'm scrolling through, and there's a gif with a woman that's on the phone and she's busting up like this. That's usually me. Like, do the people work, do your work, and stop messing about in this group. So again, thanks you guys for making this such a great platform to be yourselves. We want it to be a platform where we openly talk about sex, relationships, attitudes, how we can build together. Natalie's got a service called What Next, and that specifically looks at professionalism, generational wealth. But one of the things that I've been saying to Natalie across this course is that in order for us to attain the generational wealth that it is that we're looking for, so to own properties, have our businesses, have money, have disposable cash, not feed into the stereotypes, we need to at least be able to talk to each other, male and females. Females talk to their male counterparts, in order for us to create, you know, because there's loads of black families out there that are doing their thing, that are doing well. So I'm not sitting here saying that we all black families and all black people are fractured. Not the case at all. Some of us, black excellence is real, but I do feel it necessary for us to get to the crux rather of what are issues and barriers. Some of us that ain't in these excellent relationships. What are our barriers? Because I think if we can repair some of the broken relationships that are happening, then you can build a foundation, then you can build your family, then you can build this generational wealth. It starts with your family. But if we can't even have a conversation between us, then we've got a long way to go before we get to generational wealth. So this is what
wealth, we also have to think about generational curses. So I know that back in the day, when I used to think about generational curses, I used to think, oh, especially if you went to church, oh wow, does that mean somebody's cursed your family? And it's not that at all. It's the negative traits we pass on from one generation to another. So maybe if you was an alcoholic or a parent who was not good for money, and you continue that same cycle, and then it passes on to your children. So how are we going to stop those type of things so that we are well equipped and prepared to deal with that generational wealth? Because if that generational wealth comes, but you ain't prepared for that, you're not it.
It's mindset.
It's
mindset.
I mean, if it's mindset, go on.
Yeah, no, it's just mindset as well, the way we look at things. And I do think it does have a lot of the way we look at each other. So a lot of people, but I like to strip things back and then strip it back again and then strip it back again. And I like to think nothing is off limits, even to talk about. Like, you should be able to discuss anything, even if you feel like it's politically incorrect. We can discuss it though. You can have your opinion.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just laughing at Nikki. So
the pearl clutchers.
The pearl clutchers can roll on by. That's right.
And I was saying, for instance, when I'm talking about mindset and generation curses, you think about it. We moan. So say you've got black business, and we moan as black businesses that when we get black customers, they expect the shit to be cheap, or they expect a discount, but they won't walk into Topshop and do the same thing. If you know who you are as a person, you are not going to look at someone who is the same color as you, the same cultural background, and immediately devalue what they have because of their color, because you are that color. So that means that if you think it should be cheaper because they are black, what do you think about yourself, really?
Side of the is also for the reverse of that is I don't want to walk into a black business and have crap service and it's okay.
Absolutely.
Not at all.
That's the other thing.
Appointment that starts at 10.
I
want it to start at 10. If you've got a shop and you say the shop opens at 10, why am I there at 10:30?
Again, that's how you view yourself. For me, if you're a black business and you treat your customers like crap, especially your black customers, because you see them black businesses that treat their customers like crap. It's the black customers they're treating like crap, because they don't talk to the white people like that. It's you. How do you, if you think that because it's a black person, you can talk a certain way or behave a certain way, you're devaluing yourself. It shows the value that you see within yourself, if that makes sense. So we got to look at it. We got to go all the way.
All the way, because it's all interlinked. It's all interlinked. Where we are in terms of property, finance, relationships, it's all interlinked, I think. So that's the purpose of this platform. Like I was saying, I think so far we've got a wicked group. You guys are amazing, and we just want it to get bigger and better so that we can really actually get to the crux of some stuff. With what next, that platform, there's going to definitely be lots of opportunities coming out of that, so that we can actually build together and put our money where our mouth is. So I say all of that to say that No Bravado is not just a group where we chat shit. There is meaning behind it. And some of the questions that we ask, it's for a reason. We genuinely want to know. It's not just for shits and giggles. So again, thank you for contributing. And we're looking forward in the new year to getting bigger and better. We're probably going to do some podcasts in this format until we can figure out what's going on with this COVID mess, and then we can get together and do our podcasts again. But I like the interaction on this, actually. This is quite cool. So there was a comment from Nubia that this first one, actually, Donna McFeisty says, past relationships are supposed to be reflected on you, but not your focus going forward. Leave the baggage behind. What do you think about that? Because I think past relationships, there's lessons to be taken out of it that you take into your future as well. Like,
but I know as well firsthand that sometimes the self-reflection that you take can turn into baggage and sink the new relationship ship as well. It's getting that balance and that boundary.
Yeah,
so
there's a thin line between insecurity and intuition.
But you can't harp. Don't harp on it. You can self-reflect and take points from it that you've learned and cool.
Yeah.
But don't harp on it. I think that's the key to that.
Yeah.
Which is easier said than done. Especially if it was a traumatic relationship, they tend to stay with you.
Yeah, you'd be surprised at what you carry. You don't even realize you're still carrying. It's only when you, if you go to therapy or
invisible bag.
Yeah, that you don't even realize that you've got.
Yeah.
What's
Nikki,
your
about Kwanzaa and some of the principles we can learn from that?
Sorry, say that again.
Nikki Omar was saying about Kwanzaa,
right?
And some of the principles we can learn from that. And I think today's one is in that community, so community resources
and community economics and stuff.
I don't get that. What's that? What we're saying?
Comment 1 second. Excuse me. So today is Ujama, which means community economics. So you know in Kwanzaa you have 7 days, or was it 7 principles? And so yeah, today's one is community economics, which fits back into what you guys were saying, what we were all saying about Black businesses and not expecting a discount and supporting our own and not expecting crappy service either. Yeah. So how do we build our community?
And I think we have a part of what my whole aim of what next is. We have these conversations. We have these conversations about Black people in business. We have this conversation about Black customers in business. So we know what it is. We know where we're going wrong. So let's just keep it moving now and do. If no one likes the way it is, so let's kind of go forward within that. Stop harping on what is
the oppression, the systemic racism. Although they're all there, I think it's time for us to take our power back. So even if it's with a very small bunch of like-minded people that are gonna just move together to build and grow, because
that's another relationship breaker for me.
What's that? Sorry,
like the mindset of reforming and kind of progressing the Black community. Like you can have these conversations with certain people and they're like, it is what it is, isn't it? Like I can't go forward
with it is what it is.
Yeah, I can't go forward in that. So tying that in with relationships, that would be because it's a big deal to me. That would be a part of me.
Before in one of the in the groups, I think the question was, would you date somebody who was broke? And I think the general consensus was, are you happy being broke? Is it a period of time? Is it a mindset? And all of those will play factors into whether you're prepared to date somebody who's broke.
Yeah, I said that, right? I said I wouldn't date someone who's broke. No, but it said it's not about the person being broke. It's about their mindset. We can all fall down at some point, but it's about whether you want to stay there. What do you want to do? It's about mindset. And one of the guys messaged me and said, yeah, right.
Meaning?
You're lucky I can't remember who it was.
What did you mean by yeah, right? I don't
like
get
to
it.
say I do care. Like we're just saying things like for likes. You know, that kind of thing. Like you're just saying, I'm not looking nobody in the group. So there's no reason.
Yeah.
There's no reason for me to go, oh no, I don't care if you have money or not. Let me see who's seen that and likes that. I don't care. I'm telling you, like, the truth, like how it is. I don't care. It's not, I've been with someone broke. I've been broke, and that person stayed with me.
Trust.
So
yeah.
I've been up, I've been down. They've been down, they've been up, and I know how things can turn. It's not about that. You can be with the richest man in the world,
and
but
still
he's
be really
slinging
unhappy.
willy all over the place and beat you, or he's doing this, or you just haven't got that connection that you should have. It's not all about the money.
I always say that it was only Princess Diana would have stayed with Prince Charles.
Yeah.
She would have shut up, put up with Camilla, and just stayed there because of the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the other one weren't
Camilla.
No, what's his name? The one that she went with. He was like a millionaire.
Udodi. Yeah, well, if you're just swimming in the millionaire pool, you're not going to come down into the pauper pool, is it?
Right, do.
No, I get that, because like, it is about partnership, and I think everyone kind of has had a difficult period in life, and you get it. You know that sometimes you can be up, sometimes you can be down.
Yeah.
But I'm really uncomfortable with people who are comfortable being miserable and comfortable with no ambition and comfortable just staying in the same position. Like I had this debate with Amaze the other day, because Amaze was saying to me, because I went on one of his podcasts, Adventures of the Artisans, really interesting character he is. But I went on to his podcast the other day, and he was saying, all right, if you had a guy and he done everything that you needed to be done at home, so cooking was done, cleaning was done, things were fixed in the house, you know, just general house husband whilst you went out to work, and he worked part-time but contributed some money to the house, would you be happy with that?
I've been there.
Okay.
We went through a phase like that. I've been there. I felt like
shit.
We was actually quite content, and I was quite content.
Right.
He was quite content until he started feeling uncomfortable with it, because he saw what I was doing and thought that meant that it diminished what he was doing, when it didn't. I actually loved the kind of balance that we had at that time.
Right.
So it didn't.
Egos come into play.
Yeah, egos come into play. So it didn't work for him in the end, but it would have worked for me for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
See,
I'm
quite a complicated person, and I'm very traditional, but I'm not at the same time. It's really weird.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to do and shut down the whole thing. Yeah. So I'm okay being in a relationship and we're striving, and life throws inevitable shit at you. It just is what it is. And if he's down, then I'm okay to carry you.
Yeah.
But I'm okay to carry you through a period, but not period. Like just carrying you whilst you're. Yeah. I want to be looked after as a woman. You know, it doesn't. We've got to make up our minds what's emasculating. So if it's emasculating for me to have an opinion about certain things or whatever the case may be, then it should be emasculating for you to take my money.
Okay. Black and white.
But
Alison has said, men get comfortable with what you allow.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I think men and women.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's for both.
Definitely. I agree.
So earlier we posted something in the group. What was it? We've done the dating tips, and it was things men do which scare women away.
Breathe. Some guys
said having fun. So gang, what do you guys think? So some of the comments that we've got, lie, cheat, can't kiss. Yeah, can't kiss is a problem.
Can't kiss is a problem.
It's a big problem.
You can't. Can't kiss is a problem. What's that dolphin? What's that dolphin called? That used to be in all the films. Flipper. I want that. I want a proper lick. Like a proper lick. People, especially when they're emotionally constipated, they can't kiss.
Right. Yeah, kissing's a big deal for me. If you can't kiss, you don't get past.
It's like bare woodpecking. You want a passionate lip up, like yeah.
But I don't want to feel like
don't do that. And don't just shove your tongue in.
What did you say, Mish?
I don't want to feel like I'm being swallowed alive either.
Oh no, definitely don't eat my face.
No.
But like a nice passionate, not like no, it's not wine tasting.
Michelle's face. It's not wine tasting.
Omar said, if you can't perform in the bedroom, it's a bye-bye.
Okay.
Donna said, I don't like a man who doesn't use aftershave. Don't want to smell that horrid boy smell.
Yeah, hygiene's important.
Nubia has said, her philosophy is, when you're strong, I'm weak. When I'm strong, you're weak. I help you, you help me. When we're both strong, we enhance it. When we're both weak, we either work on it or sack it off. Balance. It's a balance.
Yeah. But I don't know.
Maybe I'm not teaching no or nothing. Not at this stage. I'm tired. Yeah.
It is about balance, and it is about finding a guy that's not going to feel emasculated when you're trying to help him.
Yeah. Some guys feel emasculated by anything. And that's the truth. Like, you don't even know what you've done, and you've emasculated them.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think, Mish? Do you think people use emasculation as an excuse, or?
I think it can be used as an excuse, but I also think it's where that person is coming from. And, you know, obviously, if you have different cultural backgrounds, the way they look at things may be different from the way you look at things.
Right.
And I think that a man is truly confident in himself. Little things won't bother him. So Trisha knows this story. I was basically saying that there's two people that had two different relationships, yeah? And one of the relationships, the guy felt no way to wash my hair, paint my toenails. I wouldn't have cared less if anybody knew and be like, yeah, it's my girl, I done it. Whereas the other, Lord God, the house would have burnt down. Why has he got to tell people that I painted your toenails? No, he would have felt like I'm trying to dis.
Right.
Folks are different folks, I suppose, isn't it? It's about what they think. And I think another thing, the amount of times we go into relationships, or let me own it for myself, and you don't have those discussions about what you expect, what your ideas are.
Because half of us don't know what it is ourselves, what it is that we're looking for. You go into relationships blindly and, oh, I hope this is the one based on some Cinderella fairy tale, when you haven't got an idea of who you are yourself or what it is that you actually want.
And as well, one thing I have noted, one thing I have realised, you have to make sure, sometimes you can be literally banging your head against the wall and you're like, no matter what I do, he or she is never happy, or they see a problem with anything. Sometimes you can be dating someone extremely low vibrational and you don't even realise it. And so whatever you do will emasculate him. Whatever you do, he'll find an issue. And the same with her. But at the same time, sometimes you can be in a relationship and you feel like there are all these issues in the relationship. And the reason why you feel like there's so much issues is because you're low vibrational.
Because it's not always the other person.
It's not always the other person.
No. Yeah. Alison said, mindset, having the same mindset is great. And I remember I watched something once before, and it made me think. And they were interviewing some men about what they expect in a relationship. And a man was saying that when he comes home, he wants a cooked meal, he wants this, he wants that, and that some women think it's a big thing. And I was thinking, oh, okay. But then he made a valid point, which I thought was valid. He was like, if we are driving in a car on the motorway and the wheel busts, it's not my car, it's your car, but I'm in the car with you, and the wheel busts, you're going to expect me to get out and change the wheel. If I then sat there and said, well, boy, you can change the wheel, it's your car, you wouldn't be having it. So he thought that's the same argument when women say, well, you can cook, so why don't you cook? And when I thought about it, I thought, it's true. If I was in the car with my man and my wheel burst, I'm not changing it, you change it.
But it goes back to
I
those
can change it if I have to, but if you're there, what's your purpose?
It goes back to those traditional roles. It is true. You shouldn't have a problem really preparing your man something to eat and looking after him and washing his clothes and making sure that the house is cooked, clean, not cooked. Make sure the house is general basic stuff to make your man happy shouldn't be a problem. But you see these memes and they're saying things like, oh, girls don't cook like grandma used to, but men don't pay bills like grandpa used to. So again, there has to be a balance. If I'm going out and I'm working 12 to 14 hours a day, when I come back, some days I ain't gonna be looking to go in the kitchen and spinach no chicken. And it's a Deliveroo. But if you want me to be at home and cooking for you, then there's got to be some kind of compromise. I'm human as well. You know what I mean?
Nubia has said, if for real, it's balanced.
It is. And as well, with regards to expectations and roles, what I have noticed is expectations and roles are nothing, because when you feel safe in a relationship, you will naturally do them things. So as a man, you create that safe space and that love for that woman, she'll naturally do it. And the same with a woman. If you create that safe space and that nurturing place for a man, then I think sometimes when you create that environment, then those things come naturally. You don't even think about the roles because you just do that. And I saw a post today that said, and this was the case in my scenario, don't, let me get it, because I need to quote it word for word. It was such a good post. It says, a man cannot expect peace from a woman he made miserable. You can't be cheating on your woman and doing all these different things to your woman and then be like, she don't cook, she don't lay down with me more than 2 days a week, but you're lucky she hasn't burned you. Like, talking
not
about
burned you,
like, you're lucky that you.
And again, it's the same what we saw growing up. So in my household, when I was growing up, my dad cooked, my mum cooked. My dad did the ironing because he liked ironing. That wasn't my mum's favour. But my mum would always make sure he had his dinner before he went to work. He picked us up from school. He dropped us to school. Do you know what I mean? It was equally shared. He came to my school plays. So I remember when I was with my children's dad, he'd be like, oh, but I picked the kids up from school. I do this. I'm sorry, you want a round of applause? I grew up seeing that in the 70s, mate. I don't know what you want a round of applause for.
And then
That was my norm. Thank you. You're not doing me a favour. It used to get me mad when the kids were young and he'd be on the phone to his friends and he'd be like, no, I can't go out and babysitting. Babysitting who?
They're your kids.
Babysitting your own kids. They're your kids. So, yeah. I think it's, again, what you're used to. So I'm used to seeing that. I'm used to seeing my dad do this and my dad do that. And my mum do this. Like, when my mum got home from work, she would wait on my dad and make sure his dinner was, she'd bring his dinner to him and all of that kind of stuff. But equally, if my mum was running late from work, my dad could start dinner. It wasn't a big deal. So it goes both ways.
What do you think about household bills? Do you think that it's, because in the group we've put things like, we put a meme up and the guy was basically saying if you split the bills with your partner as a man, you're their roommate, you're not the dude. Would you think that?
I don't think that.
No, I think it depends on the economics of your household.
Right.
So for example, if I'm earning twice as much as my partner, is it fair to then say to my partner half? Because actually, at the end of the day, his disposable income or his money left after he's paid his bills is less than what mine is. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so then it then becomes a vicious circle where
it's going to come back and ask
oh, can you borrow me money
for the money anyway?
Petrol. I'm going to have to give it to you anyway. So that, to me, that don't make no sense. How vice versa. Do you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I know people where they've worked part-time because they're looking after the kids. And the man has been like, well, you need to pay half. How am I paying half from part-time wages? So I think you have to decide what the economics in your household looks like and how it works. So
absolutely.
Half is for you, that works for you, do half.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't, then don't.
It don't. Remember our very first podcast where I was champion for, like I was saying, that if your significant other earns less than you, you can still combine income, and that would be joint income makes for a greater income overall, doesn't it? Then I got a private message, and the person was saying that's great. Like, you say, for instance, if you're putting in 70% of the household bills and you purchase a house together, you're putting in 70% and they're putting in 30%. If you go to split up, what happens if they don't want to take any less than the 50%, even though they have only been contributing 30%?
For me, you had this conversation with me. And I said, like, let's flip it on its script. If it was the other way round and it was, you know, if it was me that was being putting in 30%, but I've been doing the childcare, basically you're going to pay me my 50%. Because ultimately, if I hadn't worked part-time or whatever to look after the kids, and we've been paying that in after-school club fees or breakfast club or whatever, you don't have that money anyway. So it's dependent on, again, what the makeup is for your household. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if I've just paid 30% and I've not done anything, then that's a different story. You can be, you know, saying no, you're going to take 30%. But if I've paid 30%, but I've contributed in other areas, run me my money. Simple as that.
Donna says, I don't see a problem with splitting the bills if not both people have to contribute to the household. Split the bills, especially if the economics match.
Yes.
Nubia is saying write up a legally binding agreement. Yeah, I'm prenupping.
I'm definitely
I've got shit in it, so I'm prenupping.
I've got my stuff. So if you're coming together with me, we can go and buy something together. But if I'm putting in, because I've already got a property, that's going down in the contract.
It all boils down to mindset when you're picking someone.
Yeah.
Because it's literally the mindset that's going to carry you through the relationship.
She said, and the willy. She's so naughty.
Alison said a very valid point. Alison said, I love this topic. I carried my household fully when the kids were babies. Him working would have meant a lot of income going to babysitters. The issue here is he got comfortable with it, and breaking this routine now that they don't need him as much has turned the home into a war zone.
Oh.
Because now he's comfortable being at home.
Right.
I'm presuming that's what that means,
Well, you better get a job where you can work from home, brother. You can't just be at home if the kids. And that's my problem. If we're grafting together, fine.
Partnership.
If you're having a down period, I'm gonna carry you. If I'm having a down period, I want you to cover me. But not where you just sit down.
No, because if I come home and
sit down,
that TV application goes through the window.
Say that again, babe.
And then, if I come home from a hard day working, you're playing PlayStation because you've not been working. That PlayStation is actually going through the window. And then you're going to have to speak on top to say, and what are we eating? No, you've lost the plot. You've lost the plot.
I don't even PlayStation annoys me already. So if I came in from a hard day's work, especially where we work, and you're playing PlayStation, I'm knocking all this shit over. Like, Steve is coming out. I'm not time for that. No. Hey, Michael.
Okay, Newbie's asked another question. Hey, Michael, Newbie's asked, What if he's doing the cleaning, cooking, picking up the kids, chopping? That's fine because you're still contributing to the household. I don't have a problem with that.
But I don't want to come in and it looks like, is it Tyrone or wherever? Nothing's done. The kids are running around like nutters. There's no food in the house. And you're like, what's for dinner, babe?
And then you carry on playing. And then after you've cooked the dinner, if he's that lucky, he turns around and says, the kids are doing baking at school tomorrow, so they need flour, milk, you need to go back outside.
Well, would any guy that we would be with do that?
I'll be like, I'll be emailing the school, be like, they're self-isolating.
He would be self-isolated outside. So therefore, no, you're not self-isolated inside.
Not outside.
I haven't got patience. I think that's how it goes. My patience levels are getting really low.
And this is what I mean. I don't have patience right now. But that's why I just think you need to be ready to date. You need to be ready, because dating as well is a lot about compromise. So people are not going to do things you like, or you're not going to understand certain things. You're going to think that's a bag of fucking nonsense. I'm going to kill you. But you've got to be able to compromise, because they might be thinking that about you.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But I'm not at compromise. I'm not there. I'm not here for the bullshit at all. Military, and I just can't be asked.
I'm okay to compromise, and I'm okay to be flexible, but I'm not going to bend until I snap. That's what I'm not going to do.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
You know, so if you're contributing to the household with your time, with your effort, that's a completely different story. I don't have a problem with that.
Right.
But what you're going to do is not contribute financially, not contribute anything else, and then still be trying to conform to gender roles.
You've got a whole teenage dirtbag in your house.
Exactly, because you're my child. You're not my man, you're my child.
Contributing nothing. So I've got an extra child, but I don't get child benefit for you or nothing. I'm not doing
No, nothing. And then when you're arguing, we'll have to cheat to say, I'm the man. I'm sorry? Are you?
Michael said it's about balance.
Michael said, I think it's about balance. Yeah, I think it's about balance. And if a man is at home, he must assume the role of the homemaker. Yes, that means cooking and looking after the home. Straight.
Michael, well done. You're on point.
Yeah. What if he can't cook? You better assume another role. Quick.
He can't cook.
Yeah, what if he can't
cook?
We're not doing that.
Okay, so what can he do? What can he do? What can he do?
Michael's saying, if you're at home, if as a man you're at home, it has to be balanced. You must assume the role of the homemaker. Yes, that means cooking and looking after the home. I'm saying, what if he can't cook?
And so my question to you is, what can he do then?
Buy a cookbook.
Because if you can't cook, you must be able to build a shelf, do something. I'll have a project for you every day. If you can't do any of that, then I need to ask again, what's your purpose?
Email, his WhatsApp will be full of tutorials.
You to build.
Google a recipe.
Yeah, you better talk to Alexa. Alexa, how do you make dauphinoise potatoes?
Natalie's speciality.
You love a dauphinoise potatoes, boy.
I said he would need to make an income. Yeah, I couldn't care less what your income is, but you have to be doing something. You're not just going to sit at home and do nothing.
You've got to pick a struggle. You can't be at home and you can't cook because there's
you can't. I'm saying you'd have to go out and work. That's what Alison is saying. You have income. You can't be at home. You can't cook. You can't take care of the house. You've got no income. Then again, what is your purpose? What are you bringing to this relationship? And if what you're bringing to the relationship is what happens only at night time, you don't need to live here. You can visit and then go back to wherever
like outside.
Aki said, that's right. There's YouTube. Now learn. Alexa, the thing for real. That's right. So what's a deal breaker for you guys in a relationship? What's an absolute deal breaker?
The first one that would come to mind is if he wants kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Deal breaker. I'm done. I've had mine.
Right.
But that's not.
I'm gonna do the Wendy Asofo. Sliver in Real Housewives of Potomac. If you want kids, that's a deal breaker. It's not happening.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
That's not happening.
And what I wouldn't want is for you to then say, okay, well, I'm going to try. No. Because what I don't want is for you to try and put pressure, or later on come back and tell me about Sally down the road. I don't want to. No.
In an 8-year relationship with that.
With what?
She doesn't want kids. He wants kids. 8 years. We've been going back and forth doing this. So yeah.
No. To be honest, ladies, all this stuff are things and questions that need to be asked and discovered at the early stages of the relationship.
Definitely, I agree.
Yeah,
but people
show you a different side, Michael. It's only when you get into the crux of the relationship that you start to discover. I mean, I've heard people. Yeah, they're going to tell you what they want to hear, what you want to hear.
If I start dating somebody and I tell you I don't want kids, 12 months later you can't be coming to me about kids. I tell you from the beginning.
And that's what happened with them. They
said, oh well, I'm sorry.
I want kids. I don't. Okay. Here we are, 8 years later.
Really?
So I would have entertained that because I don't. And as I said before, you can't have half a kid.
I don't know. It's 20.
What do we do here?
20.
Yeah.
No. What do we do? So I don't want to stop you from having what you want. Yeah. So clearly we don't have the same goals. We don't have the same shared vision. Yeah. So it can't work. I don't want kids. You do.
What Nubia said as well. Controlling attitudes put me off. Me too.
Definitely.
All right. So what do we define as controlling? Give me some actions or some behaviors that you would put in the category of controlling.
Telling me who my friends can be and who they can't be.
Right.
Telling me when I can go out and when I can't. Basically, doing anything where you make me feel like you're not advising. You're telling. No.
Well, you don't feel.
I like that.
Free to say things like you feel like you need to kind of. You don't feel like you can openly say what it is or be natural because you feel like they're gonna take an issue of everything. Or those people that try and keep you away from your family,
right,
and friends that they met before they were even around. Mm-hmm. Things like that as well. People that try and control the money.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think money is a good way of controlling people.
Definitely.
That's why I like to have my own no matter what.
Yeah.
She said that in regards to what she want right now is somebody who's got good finances. Danny said that everyone is at their best at the start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They tell you what you want to hear.
Oh, hi Danielle Marie Dorothy.
Hey.
And Danielle's also said constantly asking where you are or where you're going.
You know what else is controlling as well? Is every time you go to do something important or you're going out or you're doing something for yourself, they act up or somehow sabotage it. That's controlling.
Interesting.
Definitely.
So why do you think I don't want to say us, but why do you think that people attract controlling people? Do you think it's something subconscious, or do you think it's like an insecurity? So then what do you guys think? Do you think why do you think that people gravitate to controlling people or abusive people? Or
depends. As Danielle said, that everyone's on their best behavior at the beginning, but right. There might be some energy that you're picking up that you might misinterpret for something else. So someone who's controlling, you might misinterpret for assertive, protective, will protect you, assertive.
Yeah.
And so if you feel that you're lacking that, you might be drawn to that character, and then you realize too late that what you thought was assertive behavior is actually controlling.
Alice. Nubia said they gravitate to me.
I was just about to say. Sometimes what can happen is if they can see who you are, sometimes you attract the energy vapes and the control, because sometimes they see the light that you are and they want to contain it all for themselves. And they don't want to see you anything outside of them. They don't like it.
Really? Michael has said it's funny because my mum always said that any woman that lets me is lucky because I can cook, clean, wash clothes, and I'm very happy.
Selling themselves.
But Michael, those are life skills. Those are life skills for you. So I said it's life skills. Like my son can cook. Do you know what I mean? You might not always want to, but he can cook because it's a life skill. That's what you need. You need to learn how to do that.
Yeah.
You must be able to eat.
Yeah.
So if you're missus and you have an argument, she says she's not cooking, I know you're not going to starve. You're not going to keep on running up on my door. You must be able to cook.
You better learn to boil some macaroni.
Thanks, Nubia. I just see Nubia's message. Yeah, energy vapes. People that want to sometimes they can see. I've been in a relationship, come out of it, and know I'm not the same person that I was before because they sucked all the life out of me and they purposely chipped away at that so that I couldn't be that person outside of them. I know that. I live that.
Okay. Danielle said insecurities definitely as well. If you're scared to be alone, sometimes you just settle.
Yeah.
That can be the worst kind of relationship.
Yeah.
Worse.
Worse.
And Nikki has responded to Michael by saying, "Will you make a good partner though?" ? And then Michael has said, "Any man that feels he has to control his woman, there are insecurities about himself, or is learned behavior from what he saw from his parents." And Alison has gone on to say, "There's a lot of psychological literature about traumatic past repeating itself. People gravitate towards abusive partners if they've had trauma in the past."
Yeah.
And we said that before when we've spoken, ladies, about cycles repeating themselves.
Oh, you know. I can't do nothing serious.
What is she laughing about? Trauma?
No.
I was about to say, my God.
No, we're not laughing at. She's just foolish. She just says stupid things and makes me laugh.
Okay.
Sorry.
No.
This is what I have to do, guys.
All it is that positive people gravitate. Stop. People gravitate towards abusive partners if they've had trauma in the morning.
Do you mean in the past?
She meant in the past, but Nanny's a fool. Nanny's gonna blow up.
Please.
I didn't need that Alison to write that. I knew what she meant.
And then she takes me along for the ride.
I'm
a bigger fool.
I'm a fool and I love banter. Sorry. And no matter how serious it gets sometimes.
But yeah, I mean, yesterday we were talking, we had like a little conference call with some friends, and it come up.
Alison.
Alison, guys, you see what I deal with.
You know what, Michelle, can I just clarify what it was? Yeah. Michelle read it and was like, they had trauma in the past. And she knew damn well it said in the morning, but she thought, let me.
I knew what she meant. I knew what she meant.
They had trauma in the past.
Because it must be the past.
Because it must be the past. That's what past.
It's not going to be in the morning, it's past.
You're so fool. But yeah, we was having this conversation and we was talking about different things, and then talking about similarities in different partners, types of partners that you attract and the cycles that continue. Have you, because you've had long-term relationships, but have you noticed similarities in characteristics for the types of guys that you go for? And do you think that's related to past traumas?
I could honestly say, I said 2 earlier, but I've had no 2. The first one doesn't count. I've had 2 serious relationships, and then I had my daughter when I was young. I was in a relationship for about 2.5 years. I was like 17. Doesn't count. It doesn't count.
We're just gonna write it down.
Yeah, because I was a child. That's what I think.
Yeah.
But all 3 of those males are completely different.
Okay.
They have no similarities together at all. So when people say as well, do you have a type? I'm like, no. If you look at them all at looks, they couldn't all look any more different than they look.
Yeah.
And the characteristics of each of them, they're all very, very, very different. But they all caught me with banter.
Okay.
Doesn't mean you can laugh my pants off. I'm just saying. We had a connection through the banter. That's what kind of kept.
What about you, Shel? Again, you've had very long-term relationships, but has there been any similarities? Do you notice any cycles? Because we know we spoke about generational curses. And I think the more I study this topic, I don't look at it as just a generation, like a curse, like you said, oh, someone's got a curse. I think it's family kind of bound cycles that, so yeah, like if I look at my mum, my mum's father left to go and work in the US when she was about 2. And my father went to go and work in the US when I was about 4. Do you understand what I mean? So it's just like different cycles. I've taken time to stand still and try and really piece together the types of guys that I attract, because someone said that maybe you're single because your type, the type that you go for, is why it doesn't work out. So I stand still to try and study what the similarities are, what are the negative traits, what is it that I'm attracted to, and are they the same sort of results? So for some women, cheating comes up, it reoccurs and it reoccurs and it reoccurs. So do you think that there is something to cycles, or?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. I think that the guys that I have dated, or the ones I've been in serious relationships with, again, similar to what Natalie says, all look very different from each other.
Yeah.
But I get that they all have a certain type of, they're quite, what's the word I can use? Easygoing kind of people. They're very laid back, you know what I mean? But they're kind of people that you rub them the wrong way, they will show you a temper, but that's not what you notice about them in the first place. And I think that's very much like my dad. Right. My dad was a going, laid back kind of guy, but if he got angry, you would know about it. Because he never even shouted. So when he did, it was like, ooh. Whereas my mum always shouted, so it was just like water for duck's butt. Do you know what I mean? He wasn't even really bothered. Nobody flinched when she did. And so I think, yeah, those are the type of guys I go for. But I definitely think that, yeah, one in particular I can think had some very definite patterns, I would say, of my dad. I could have said was the reincarnation of my dad. And I think that's what made me gravitate towards him.
Yeah.
But at the same time made me push away, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because as a dad, I think my dad was a perfect dad. I loved him to bits. But there were certain qualities about my dad that as a husband would have been negative for me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. So I think that's what made me gravitate towards that person. Because they reminded me of my dad, and like, spookily too much. And not in any way that they look, but just their characteristics.
And it's interesting because you're not the first person. I've said the same thing to you, Mish, that in terms of like picking up guys that have characteristics like your dad. And I think it is about really sitting down and studying, because daddy issues is a deep sort of topic. It really is. Oh, hey Simone. Hey baby girl. We're
talking about daddy issues.
We're talking about daddy issues, but we're going to be wrapping up in a minute, Sims. But yeah, I think that there's so much to subconsciously. I think you gravitate to guys that have characteristics like your dad, and you don't even realize. And like you said earlier, I think there's good traits in your dad and there's bad traits in your dad, and it's trying to figure out, okay, well, if I'm gonna gravitate to guys, I want to pluck out what the good traits are and be very aware of what the bad traits are, and if they're too toxic for me to handle. But you need to be aware of that. You know, I say to my girlfriends all the time, be the man that you want your daughter to attract.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because 9 times out of 10, if your dad was a player, you're attracted to players. And I'm like, you know, after, you
that
know,
whole spiral.
Yeah, like, so it is about really understanding your family, your generational kind of cycles, what they mean for you, the good in it, and
depends what they are.
do the good traits outweigh the bad?
Yeah, outweigh.
And depends what the bad traits are. Because some bad can't be outweighed. Like
Simone's saying, yes, my dad wasn't around, so I get unavailable men. Again, emotionally unavailable men. And for some reason, because I think that goes back to the question that he was asking earlier, what scares women away, from men? And someone put in that comment that good men scare women away. So if I'm a good guy that's clean cut, going to give you everything that you've asked for, no drama, oh, he's too nice. I've heard it.
Or you question it like, too good to be true, so I'm waiting for you to start.
I don't believe in it. If you show me something negative, I'm like, but if it is too nice, I think, okay, come on, get on with it. Where's the punch? Like, where does the nonsense and the peppy show start?
Michael, sometimes we become a product of our environment subconsciously. Donna says, I don't know my dad, so not sure where I've gone wrong, but think maybe I compromised too much.
But again, DNA and energy is real, so you don't have to know your dad, but you've got his DNA. And maybe you compromise too much because you don't know your dad. So again, I think it all feeds into the cycle that I'm speaking about. You know, not having your dad there and not knowing your dad is going to cause some sort of a void. So you kind of compromise because you want to fill that void. But you know what I mean? By your dad as well.
And I think it also goes for men. So my cousins and the males in my family who are married or in long-term relationships, the men I've seen who are married, their wives are very strong characters, but then so are their mums. Does that make sense? So in a way, they've gone for
characters that are very much like their mum.
May not look like them at all physically, but the essence of that person.
Energy, the essence. Absolutely. So yeah, I do think it's about taking stock and really looking at what it is that you do want, what it is that you don't want, the relationship that you had with your father. Some people have had great relationships with their fathers, but again, like you said earlier, great father, but probably not the best partner for you. So
it swings and roundabouts. You know what I mean? Like there is so many qualities that I can say about my dad, and I'm like, no, I want that quality in a partner. And then there's other things. Oh yeah, dad, I'm taking a mic there. Do you know what I mean? But then at the end, like, you know, I said it before, like my dad was ill, my mum was ill, and my dad was asking for my mum when he was dying, and to me, that's a different type of loyalty, and I'm like, I want that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But there's other bits I have to be like, no. And so I think it was needed if you said I have to weigh up whether your qualities in my dad, the same qualities that my dad had, sorry, outweigh the negative qualities that he had, and if they don't,
Michael says, I knew my dad even though he wasn't really around. He had enough women, and in my early days, I was very much like him. But I had to break that cycle for myself.
Well done, Michael.
Yeah.
Michael, how did you do that? Did you come to that conscious decision that you was like your dad? Or did that realization come to you? Did somebody point it out? How did you go about breaking the cycle?
Whilst we wait for Michael, I was going to say, it's all right. We've got to remember that we are spiritual beings in having like a human experience. And so the human is very temporary, that experience, but your spirit is eternal. It's the energy that's eternal. So sometimes, you know, you're attracted to things that might not even be in this life. It might not even be specifically related to this specific human experience. It could be something that your spirit is attracted to or drawn to because of past experiences, if you believe.
If you believe that, yeah.
I do.
Which I think it's a brain fuck. So you've got to deal with all of the bullshit in this life and worry about things that you can't even remember from a past life. Like,
that's why they say karma is real. If it don't get you in this life, you'll get you in the next.
Yeah.
So you need to be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. But we said we was going to do an hour. It's now 9:30, so we've done an hour and a half.
Thank you so much, guys.
So
Can't hear you.
you
Say
can't
that
hear us.
again. I can hear you. I
Oh.
can hear Natalie.
Oh, thank you. I was saying thank you guys for joining us and doing what you always do and being interactive.
Contributing and being interactive. And couple of things. Facebook, I don't want to cuss them off because I think they're listening and they might just block off our account. But I think they can be quite biased. So we had a warning shot for a comment that a gentleman made in the group, basically saying it was hate speech, when it wasn't. It was not hate speech. And then someone put up a post in the group today, and it was like of a really grotty place, and what would you do if you walked into this environment? So you've gone to the state, you've gone to your date's house for the first time, and you've walked in and it's grotty and damp, and I would not be staying. I don't care how bougie it sounds, I ain't doing that. But when I was reading through the comments, someone said, oh, this looks like it's in Bangladesh. And we just want to remind you, no hate speech, because they will look off the group. Like, I think because you guys have been so interactive, and we are building our audience, they're actually paying attention now. I think the more comments and the more interactive you are, is the more attention that they pay. So yeah, no hate speech. Let's respect each other's comments and viewpoints.
Please.
Yeah, let's not do that. Let's just build this group on positivity.
Yeah.
Let's talk about great stuff that's going to help us as a community. We definitely, if you're interested in coming on a live with us, holla, so that we can. Well, we figured it out today. We've kind of figured it out, so that we can invite you on and you can sit and chat with us as well. We love this group. We want it to grow. We're looking forward to stuff in the new year with you guys. So again, thank you. We love you.
Can I just add what Michael said? Because I'm not asking the question.
Okay, go ahead.
Right. So Michael said, absolutely, I couldn't commit to relationships like him. He got my mum pregnant while still being married. My mum didn't know. Then my dad had twins, a boy and a girl. And then I had twins, a boy and a girl. And I made up my mind that my kids will always have me and access to me, unlike my dad was to me. Michael, well done, man. Round of applause.
Ends there. That's right.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Just to add as well on what Trisha was saying.
Yeah.
We are all entitled to our opinion. I do like to think that we can post anything, even if it does make some people clutch their pearls, or if you think, oh, that's gross, or that's thingy. We should be able to post anything in the group, or other people post anything in the group. If you don't like it, scroll past it. We're not trying to have no negative energy on anything. I see posts sometimes, I think, and I scroll past it. If it's something that you don't agree with, scroll past it. But we do want people to feel free. If it's blatantly disgraceful, we don't allow it.
No.
But I would like to think it's as open as possible. Even if it is saying something about Black people, yes, put it in the group. Let us chop it up. Let us discuss it. Let these conversations be had. We can't shut down everything that we do not like.
Yeah.
This group is for us to be able to have them open conversations with each other, male and female, with no judgment, being able to understand that, you know what, that's your opinion. I think your opinion's bollocks. But it's your opinion.
Yeah.
And I'm not then going to be offended the whole night and not sleep over it because of that. And I'm not going to get into a big beef with you about it. Scrap that. Let people have their opinion. And I think you can debate, but I think there's a way of doing it.
I mean, remember there was one post that we put up, and it was Fidel Campbell. I don't know if he's joined us, but Fidel put up a post, and it was about women having smelly vaginas. And Lord God, I felt like I was defending them for about 2 weeks. Now, what came out of that is because there's educated people in this group, we've got nurses in this group, and what came out of it was people like Simone, who's a nurse, spoke about the causes, the effects. It ain't just that women have smelly vaginas. We could be allergic to your sperm, it could be your diet, many things came out of that conversation, but I had to wade through this is disgusting. Why are we talking about women's vaginas smelling? Women's vaginas smell. Let's not have a nervous breakdown over it. But sometimes it happens. But let's have an educational conversation about it. So again, it's all in the title. No bravado. We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk about controversial stuff. We're gonna talk about deep stuff, and we hope that you stay along with us for the ride. We're coming towards the end of 2020. We're hoping for a better year next year. Although 2020 has been good for me. How's it been for you guys? How's 2020 treated you, Mish?
Yeah, it's been all right. I ain't sure it's been all right for my waistline, but it's been all right for
the last 5 years. It ain't been all right for my waistline.
Can't blame it on quarantine.
Listen, why are you exposing my business like that? I want to blame it on quarantine. Leave me to blame it on quarantine.
So if you are a pearl clutcher, I don't
say the group for you.
The group for you.
Yeah.
You know, there are going to be things that happen that we sometimes will miss out of order, and we will respond to that. And if sometimes people bring comments damn right out of order, and we will deal with that. But like we said, outside of that, it's open, honest. We will post what we want to post because we want those discussions that would not usually be had. You don't have to agree with the post. Counteract the post there and then. Don't just say this is a disgusting post. Why did you post that? Why would you even ask that? What a stupid question. Nothing's a stupid question. I don't think there is a stupid question because everything is relative to whoever's asking.
And there might be somebody who read that post who might have been battling with that but was too embarrassed or didn't know where to go. Read that and said, okay, that makes sense now, and maybe got the support or whatever that they needed.
Nubia said that damn post. Yeah, I battled that post for weeks. And I was like, the more people challenged me on it, and the more I was like, I ain't taking it down. Because yeah, because you was gone, I was on my own, and I was getting beat up, boy.
Can't hear you, Natalie. Put your mouth in the receiver.
Sorry.
Go on.
We've all got different perspectives. We all come from so many. There's 651 people in the group. We're not all going to agree. We are not Stepford wives. We are not robots. But that is what makes the world go round. I believe I like meeting different people who have different opinions, and that can show me a different opinion. I can still hear your opinion and think, okay, but it doesn't have to be a war of words, and we don't have to start getting personal because we've had to kind of put it up a few times. As great as the group is, can you stop yamming each other? Like we've seen wars going on for days, like a whole week.
Yeah, one of the main offenders, I hadn't seen him for a while though. He's gone.
And good vibes, man. Like nothing is always going to be good vibes because that's not how things are. But no dusty energy, please.
Yeah, no dusty energy. And remember, this is your group as much as it is ours. So any topics that you see, share it to the group. We'll post it up.
It might take some time sometimes
because we've got loads. We've got loads.
We might not post some and a similar question. We might not post some because there's been a similar question.
Yeah. Sometimes if you don't see us post a post, whether you realise it or not, sometimes the post has already been posted before. So we won't always share it. And we can't accept every single post we have. So please don't get offended if you can. And if you see that we've declined a post, please read, because we will always send a message why we've declined a post. But a lot of people, we decline it and they go, my message was declined, I don't even know why. And it's like, no, because we did write a full paragraph.
Find you on Messenger
as to why we declined the post. It's never anything personal. It's always going to be for a proper reason. So thank you again, guys.
But yeah, when are we going to do this again? Oh, next week. Yeah. Okay. Well, she's committed us to next week, so it looks like we'll be back next week. So, all right. So Holler at us in our inbox. Let us know if you want to join us. We'll bring you on the live. We'll figure it out and test it out together. But yeah,
Michael said he would want to do live with us.
Well, let's bring it on, Michael.
And let us kind of know what you want us to talk about in the live. Obviously, we talk about the things in the group as well. But if there's anything that you think that should definitely be spoken about on the live, let us know.
And invite like-minded people to the group. People that are not going to clutch their pearls and that are up for a debate. Because like we said at the beginning of this is not just for shits and giggles. This is for us to try and build bridges and build a community and look towards generational wealth. And I think it starts with us being able to talk as a community. That's what this is about. So far so good. We love you, and we'll probably see you next week Tuesday then. Yeah, next week Tuesday.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later.